hello there. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Annabelle. I am a 28-year-old artist from Victoria, Australia, and this is my April vlog. This is what I got up to during the month of April. I had a couple of commissions going and a few different things happening. I started a new job, which was really exciting, and I'm loving it. So here I'm working on a commission. You've actually would have seen me paint this from beginning to end in another video, but my beautiful client, who is a really good friend of mine, asked for an addition to this painting. So luckily it had cured enough for me to add something in. There's this picnic table, which is a part of the landscape here that makes this recognizable. So you'll see here that I'm actually going in with a Conte pencil, which is kind of like a pastel pencil, to sketch in over the top of my oil paint. And using this pencil is really good because the pigment is loose. It will just mix in with the paint. So my next job was to touch up the trees in the middle ground of this painting. I think I would have posted this one a couple of weeks ago now on my YouTube channel, and I was just waiting for the paint to cure a little bit more before I fixed up these trees. I had decided in that video that the colors weren't quite right and the shapes weren't quite right, so I just wanted to refine them down, and I felt that changing the color of the trees, making it a bit more green, less kind of desaturated yellow, it brought them to life and the whole painting just appeared quite a bit better. Next on my to-do list was to start my next commission painting. So this one is for someone I used to work with, and he wanted this for his office, so he basically just asked me to paint something for him. And he asked for a size, I quoted him. So I went with a scene that I snapped a picture of when we were heading up to Mount Beauty, which is a mountain, well, a part of a mountain range in my home state here in Australia. And when we drove in that day, there was this beautiful smoky light coming through the valley, and I snapped some really beautiful photos, and this one in particular just made me really happy, just the colors and the hills, so I decided to go with this one. So let's get painting. At this point, I had done my entire underpainting in acrylic. I did this off camera just because I needed a break from filming, and then I came in with an orange pastel pencil and popped in a few adjustments that I needed to make the whole composition feel a little bit more cohesive. Now I'm coming in with acrylic just to kind of sculpt out that tree a little more and fill in some of the spaces that just needed the shapes to be altered slightly. This painting is 14 by 18 inches. It's not a very large painting, but it is honestly the biggest painting I've done in a few years. I've worked quite small, so it's been really interesting to challenge myself to make something bigger. And so far, I think I'm pulling it off. At the time I'm recording this voiceover, I'm not finished the painting yet, but I'm very, very close. And I think some of it just needs a little bit of work, but overall, I'm fairly happy with it. So this is the part of the painting process where I start to get overwhelmed and I don't know really what direction to go in. At this stage, the painting feels compositionally, fairly correct and the colours are good, but it still feels unfinished and I just don't know what to do. So I have been thinking about, the best way for me to approach this, and I'm going to try approaching it from the angle of which parts of this painting are distracting me as a viewer. This may or may not work. I don't think I want to work up any more detail, maybe a little bit in some areas, but I like my paintings to feel like paintings, not photographs. So we'll see where that goes. You'll see on the right hand side there just a couple of little gouache sketches that I did. The one on the top I obviously spent a lot more time on. That's of a tree that is just down the street from me, and I've been looking at that kind of stand of trees every time I drive past and I go, I really want to paint that, I really want to paint that. So my partner and I were going for a drive and I was like, don't turn the corner, and he just like brakes. And he's like, what? Thinking we're going to get hit by a car. And I'm like, no, I just need to take a photo of these trees because the light's really nice. And he's just like, oh my gosh. So luckily there was no cars around. So we stopped, I took a photo, and then we kept on driving. And that is the photo that I painted in that top gouache painting there. The one underneath is from some footage that I took of a sunrise. I think it was a sunrise. No, actually it would have been a sunset with the direction that the sun was going, just in my backyard. And it is such a quick painting. Like it's not detailed at all. It's not great in terms of the execution of the shapes and things like that. But I was really just experimenting with painting over a cerulean blue background and painting a sunset. And I feel like the light effect worked really well. But obviously I'd need to go back and refine those shapes if I was going to make a real, proper studio painting out of it. So I decided I needed to take a break from painting just to kind of gain a bit of perspective on that piece so that I can, create the best piece I possibly can. So I decided to go up to Melbourne to go to the Ian Potter Centre, which is the Australian art branch of our National Gallery of Victoria here in my home state. So I wanted to go there because my favourite artist of all time, Arthur Streeton, has quite a few works there. There were only, I think, about 4 or 5 on display at the time, but I think they have about 60 odd in their collection. So I went to kind of just admire his work and look at some of the other Australian artists' work from the 19th and 20th century to kind of just gain a bit of perspective, see how they did it, and just get inspired, I think. Learn a little bit more about their colour and their painting techniques, and just really appreciate how free a lot of them were with their brush strokes, and realise that I don't need to kind of pin myself down to any one method of painting. I can just do what I feel and it'll still be my work. In other news, a bit of an exciting announcement. I have finally built a website for myself. There is a store where you can buy my artwork. There's currently, I think, only one piece on there. I'm still kind of finessing everything, but you can find me at annabelleleeartist.com. Have a little suss out of my site, and if you want to buy that piece, go for it, but no pressure. I'll have a store on there where you can buy my original work, and eventually I'll probably have some prints as well, but we'll have to just kind of cross that bridge when we come to it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on my journey as I kind of nut out this commission painting. And I hope you have a really lovely day. I will see you soon. I have changed my upload schedule now to a Sunday instead of a Thursday, just because that fits my new routine better with my new job. So you can expect new videos from me 3 weeks out of every month. on a Sunday evening here in Australia. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Love you all. Bye.